I just want to tell one story. That is, I was testing out once again the proving grounds for Chrysler, doing like 210 mile an hour at the time on that 5 mile oval. And I remember going through the corners where you could, if you were on the right level of the banking, you could let go of the wheel, just sort of let the car drive itself almost at times because the way that the track was shaped. But I'm coming in, I'm like a little lower, and I'm looking across the track, and I see a Roadrunner running with a lizard in its mouth. And I'm going 210 miles an hour. That thing intercepts the car. I never try to swerve or anything because you're going so fast, and it's so dangerous out there. So I know like I hit it because it didn't go to the left side, and I didn't see it, or it went under. But I'm like, this didn't work out for this thing. We come back in. I get to the garage, and they're like, get out. I come up front, and in the grill is a Roadrunner mid-run with the lizard still in its mouth, plastered on the front end of the race car. like as if you drew it out. And I was like, all right, yep, that's wild. So
speaking of the proving grounds, we've told those proving ground stories. Those are fun to tell.
They're great ones.
Here's one that I don't know if I've said this on the podcast or in public. I've told it to people before personally, but this is kind of the dumb stuff you do when you're 19, 20, whatever. I should get retroactively fired for this, but you know those you were talking about the proving grounds being these big banked circles, right?
Yep.
And you know how you could always find that like sweet spot on the track where you could let go of the wheel.
Yeah, I just said that. Yeah.
Right, I'm bringing us back to that part of the conversation, right? So you could let go of the wheel, right? And the car would just fit. The banking is like a dish, right? And the track is a circle. So you could just let go of the wheel, and you're running wide open. And this isn't a big deal, okay? This is not a big deal. It sounds crazy. We're going to sensationalize it. But, like, you're not actually, at this point on the track, you're not driving the car. You're just wide open, going 210 miles an hour with your hands off the wheel, right? It's not that big a deal because the car doesn't move. The track is perfectly still. So it's not that hard. So you have to add some kind of challenge to it, like close your eyes.
No.
And no. I used to close my eyes and try to count until I would try to close my eyes. Yeah, I would close my eyes and just count to see how long I could go until I was like, okay, I'm scared. I need to open my eyes.
Oh my God. What's the longest you got?
Like 7 seconds.
So at 210 mile an hour, 7 seconds, Josh, do the math. You traveled so far.
With my eyes closed. But it all started with like, I just would take my hands off the wheel and then I'd put them back on. Take my hands off the wheel and put them back on. And it was like, I could close my eyes. I could close my eyes for like a half second and open them back up. I'm like, oh man. And then it was just like, over the course of the run, and it was like 1, 2, okay, open. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh my God!
How fast were you going?
Like 200.
200.
Say 200.
Let's see.
7
200
seconds.
miles per hour. You
It's probably
went,
180 feet a second. Probably probably 1,000 feet.
You went 2,053 feet.
Oh
gosh! In that time frame.
And what's a mile? What's a mile?
So this is a little under half a mile.
5,
so this is
half a mile.
So it's about 4/10 of a mile. So,
and you were going a little faster than that, probably. So that's wild. So I remember that we've totally derailed here, but I remember putting it was before AirPods, but I would run another the Apple earpods that are wired, and I would play music and such in one ear and have them in the other ear. So a lot of times as we'd run around out there. And then the other thing I did, this is what I should be retroactively fired for as well, was cell phone videos.
Oh yeah, I took cell phone videos.
Can you do the whole lap? I'm like, yeah, definitely can. Watch this, 220 miles an hour, and I'd be like, make it point right at the guardrail, which was terrifying, or the bridges that came at you. Yeah, terrible. Terrible.
Meanwhile, I was not telling anybody about this at the track. Like, never, nobody on the team knew this. This is me by myself being bored, driving with my eyes closed.
Jeez, at 200, you have definitely probably gone further than anyone in a race car, closed-eyed. That's for sure.
They're like, how did Landon die? He launched one off of the guardrail on the 5 mile. Nobody knows. They think something broke, but they just can't figure it out.
He just never opened his eyes. Is the problem? He just wouldn't open his eyes.